Hello and this is your snack sandwich. Today I have a really quick video for you on MetaDAO. Now MetaDAO is a pretty interesting prediction market governance protocol on Solana. Now I have heard that it might have been forked somewhere else onto the EVM, but I'm told that this is the first place where it came about. So as usual, I've read through all the docs. I would suggest you to read it. It is a bit of a brain twister, so you might have to read it a few times to really grasp it. So I read through all the docs. I also read through some of the blogs, and then I also read through this white paper. Now, I do have a flowchart on for you to explain kind of how I understand this thing to work and sort of what this thing can do. But as always, I would suggest you to go check it out, read the docs, maybe even come inside here and play with some of these prediction market trading things, okay? But I'll try to give you a kind of an understanding of how this thing works as I understand it, and hopefully from there you can kind of come and dig deeper and find out if this is something interesting for you or not. Rise is the next generation, high throughput based rollup. Rise Chain is ushering in the gigagas era with a parallel execution engine and a continuous pipeline. Find out more at riselabs.xyz. Okay, so here we are on the flowchart. We have Dollar Bill and Boosted Bill here, and they're part of this sandwich DAO. Now they have this idea that if a sandwich DAO were to give 50,000 USDC to Boosted Bill, then Boosted Bill can shill this DAO and the token price will go up. That's kind of the proposal or the idea of this. Now traditionally what would happen is they would put it on Snapshot or some sort of on-chain governance voting system, and then everybody would vote on this and kind of decide whether or not the DAO should give $50,000 to Boosted Bill. And then Boosted Bill can perform what he needs to perform, right? Now, the MetaDAO is kind of thinking that this is not ideal, that we could add markets to this where people have to actually speculate on the prices of things and actually use real money to make voting instead of just token holding, okay? Because sometimes people don't show up to voting. Sometimes people vote based on emotions instead of hard logic. But generally speaking, most people who use money to bet on things, they generally use hard logic to bet on some things. Now there are of course some possible downfalls or drawbacks, and kudos to the MetaDAO team for actually making this entire page that talks about sometimes people gamble and sometimes people don't like zero-sum markets. It's not quite logical, and then also some scalability. So I would suggest you kind of read this and kind of think about the drawbacks of this system. But I do think it's worthy experiment, and that this idea is worth testing out and trying, especially in our ecosystem where we like to test out new ideas and experiment with things. So let's go back to the flowchart here, and I will talk a little bit about how I understand this thing to be set up. So here we have MetaDAO inside the middle now instead of Snapshot or governance voting, okay? So the first thing we have here is Dollar Bill can, like most prediction markets, he can deposit 10 USDC or 100 or 1,000 or whatever and get the same amount of yes/no tokens for this proposal. So what he's saying is that he's willing to put 10 USDC in here and get these 10 yes tokens and 10 no tokens. So would this proposal have a positive effect or a negative effect on the price of the token? So then what makes this one different is that there are two token mintings. There are two markets. It's not just yes or no, but there is also the governance token. So the token of the DAO. Grandma could also, or Boosted Bill or Dollar Bill, anyone could also mint some yes/no sandwich tokens, okay? So this is a little bit complicated, but basically, there are two minting possibilities. You can mint yes/no tokens, or pass or fail, right? Or you can mint sandwich yes or no, or sandwich pass or sandwich fail, okay? So let's go over to the next part here. So based on the fact that there are two types of tokens or 4 types of tokens minted, they are put into markets together where they are tradable. So no sandwich and no USDC are tradable, and yes sandwich and yes USDC are tradable with each other inside these markets. Now they can also provide liquidity to these to get trading fees, but let's not go there quite yet. Let's try to get a good understanding of how these markets interact and what are the statements that people are trying to make by trading these, okay? So here is the major statement, okay? So will the price of sandwich be higher or lower if the proposition, the proposal passes or fails? Now that's a lot of things to kind of wrap your mind around, but let's kind of go through this simply one by one, okay? So Grandma has taken some sandwich tokens, right? And she has minted yes and no tokens. So if she thinks that the tokens, the price of the token currently trading in these markets is worth less or say more. Let's do it this way. Okay, so say Grandma takes her yes sandwich and trades it for no yes USDC. Okay, so basically what she's doing now is she's saying that if this proposal passes, the sandwich token is going to go down in value. So she's pre-selling her sandwich tokens for USDC at this point, and then when the thing when the $50,000 is given to him, if he has a negative effect and the price goes down because everyone's angry, then she will have pre-sold her sandwich tokens right now. Now the opposite is true. Okay, at the top she can also pre-sell her sandwich tokens for USDC if she thinks this thing will fail. If the proposal fails and he doesn't get that money, then the sandwich token will go down in value. So she's selling her sandwich tokens right now. Now, Dollar Bill is the opposite. He's buying the tokens. So if he already has USDC, right, and he's put USDC and he's gotten these, and if he trades them for sandwich fail or sandwich pass, then he thinks that the token price will go up based on in reference to the current market price of these. Now that might be a little bit confusing, but if we kind of swing back over to here and look at this live proposal, we see that like the market price is right here, 3,202, but the actual the trading prices of the yes and no are not the market price. Okay, so people are kind of speculating on whether or not they think the price will the price of the token will go up and down based in reference to what it's currently being traded at based on the outcome of these proposals. Now, I'm not sure if this is clear or not. I kind of have a pretty good understanding of it in my brain, and I hope that I've been able to clear this up for you and make this market understandable for you on how this goes. The best way I can think about it is that you are either pre-buying or pre-selling these tokens, because when this market closes, when this proposal finishes or this whole thing closes, then you will only be able to redeem the yeses or the nos. So if you hold this X sandwich and the thing fails, then you would be able to redeem these X sandwich for actual sandwich tokens. So it allows you to kind of pre-buy or pre-sell the governance token based on what you think the effect of this proposal will have on that governance token's price, okay? Because that later, after it closes, you can go and sell that sandwich token, or you can go and buy back that sandwich token at a lower price, okay? Now, the second thing that they've added to this that's very interesting is a kind of a level of trustlessness, the ability to add some trustlessness to this system, okay? So traditionally, maybe, it's possible that like at this point, the DAO will look at these prices and be like, okay, most people think it's going to be good or it's going to be bad, so let's do it or let's not do it. So they could send him these tokens. However, there is the possibility of using one of these contracts that allow for the automation of this process. So if the TWAP of pass is not X% greater than the TWAP of fail, then it's a fail. So blah, 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 blah. So basically what that means is they can compare the outcome of these in percentage of like, did more people bet and change the price of yes higher than more people bet to change the price of no higher. So if more people are betting that, that the outcome should be no because the price is cheaper and it pushes it up, then the proposal will fail, and automatically that USDC would be like returned to the DAO. But if it passes, because more people think that it's the pass price is cheaper, or the fail price is too expensive, so they sell, then it creates a bigger gap between them, and then this automated process will look at these TWAP prices and allow for the claiming of that 50,000 USDC by dollar bill or boosted bill. Now, this is my understanding. I know this is pretty confusing, and especially when it comes into these four types of tokens, instead of just using yes or no, they're allowing you to trade yes, nos, and it becomes a little bit complicated. But I hope that this has been clear, and I hope that I've kind of given you a little bit of a better understanding of how to deal with this and what this thing is trying to do. And as always, use this as an introduction, and then go and check it out for yourself and find out if you think this is interesting, and maybe if you want to even use this for your DAO. Thank you and goodbye.